Siona God, hello all, Oshta afternoon, good afternoon, and Wado, thank you for watching. So this is part 3 of me reading these court documents that Bing's AI called Copilot told me to print, where Trump is mentioned in the Epstein stuff. It is not 24,000 times. There were no emails released or leaked or anything like that. We've been gaslit. Those things were court depositions that they put in a format that's super simple for everybody to read because they are very familiar with that format. And if you've listened to my other videos, you see how hard it is to read those things and kind of understand what the heck's going on because all the typos and whatnot. So anyway, this is Argren, A-R-G-R-E-N, Blando Court Reporting and Video Inc., Virginia Guffrey, Volume 2, 11/14/2016, 439. And it says, bye. And the answer is, I used to get frightened flying with her, but Bill had the Secret Service with him, and I remember him talking about what a good job she did. This is what it says. Okay, and what else did you put a check by? A Donald Trump, answer, right? Sorry. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. I had to make sure I had the right paper. Okay, so I'm going to back up. Okay, and what else did you put a check by? Donald Trump was also a good friend of Jeffrey's. He didn't partake in any sex with any of us, but he flirted with me. He'd laugh and tell Jeffrey, you've got the life. Other than the 3 you've just mentioned. Yeah, everything else on here is absolutely accurate. And Mrs. McCauley says, objection. Yes, well, to the best of my recollection, yes. By Mrs. Menninger. All right, what is inaccurate about, I'd have been about 17 at the time. I flew to the Caribbean with Jeffrey, and then Ghislaine Maxwell went to pick up Bill in a huge black helicopter that Jeffrey had bought her. Answer, because it makes it kind of sound like an eyewitness thing. So she's fixing to recant some of the stuff that she said. And I say that because I was reading this while it printed, because it's super simple to read. It looks like paragraph form. Right? It's not got all that weird crap. Okay, so it looks like an eyewitness. Sounds like an eyewitness thing. Is that what she said? Kind of sound like an eyewitness thing. Okay, did you say that statement to Sharon Churcher? I said to Sharon that Ghislaine told me that she flew Bill in the heli, the black helicopter that Jeffrey bought her. And I just wanted to clarify that I didn't actually see her do that. I heard from Ghislaine that she did that. You heard that from Ghislaine, and then you reported to Sharon Churcher that you had heard that from Ghislaine. Correct. Mrs. McCauley, objection. I heard a lot of things from Ghislaine that sounded too true, too outrageous to be true, but you never knew what to believe. So, question by Mrs. Menninger. Okay, and after Sharon Churcher printed what she said, you said, did you complain to her that it was inaccurate? And she says, I might have verbally with her, but again, I didn't see a point in making a hissy over it because what was done was done. She had already printed. Question, what was inaccurate about I used to get frightened flying with her, but Bill said had the... So this says, and this is going to be the same lady, I believe. This next one says Argren Blando Court Reporting and Video Inc., Virginia Guffrey or Jeffrey, whatever, Volume 2, 11/14/2016, 442. Remember him talking about what a good job she did. I don't remember that. Does it inaccurately suggest that Bill had the Secret Service with him on a helicopter? Mrs. McCauley says objection. Well, not being an eyewitness to it, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I can't tell you what I don't know. Question by Mrs. Menninger. And do you believe you said that statement to Sharon Churcher? I mean, Sharon and I talked a lot. If she misheard me or just wrote it in the way that she thought she should, I have no control over that, so I'm not too sure. Did she record your interviews? Some of them she didn't. I mean, we met for like a week. We spent a lot of time together. And then even after that, we just continued like kind of a friendship. All right, what's inaccurate about the last statement on that page? Here it is. Donald Trump was also a good friend of Jeffrey's. That part is true. He didn't partake in any sex with any of us, but he flirted with me. It's true. Okay, hang on. Hold on to your shorts. That he didn't partake in any sex with us, but it's not true that he flirted with me. So she says it's all true. Then she says it's not true. Okay? I'll read it again. It's not true that he flirted with me. Donald Trump never flirted with me. Then the next sentence is, he'd laugh and tell Jeffrey, you've got the life. I never said that to her. When you said he didn't partake in any sex with any of us, who is us? Girls. Just, how do you know who Donald Trump, and then it says, Trump had sex with? Oh, I didn't physically see him have sex with any of the girls, so I can't say who he had sex with in his whole life or not. But I just know it wasn't with me when I was with other girls. And who were the other girls that you were with in Donald Trump's presence? None. Right. There, I worked for Donald Trump, and I've met him probably a few times. When have you met him? At Mar-a-Lago. My dad and him, I wouldn't say they were friends, but my dad knew him, and they would talk all the time. Well, not all the time, but when they saw each other. Have you ever been in Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein's presence with one another? So they're asking, have you seen them together, right? No. What is the basis for your statement? That Donald Trump is a good friend of Jeffrey's? Jeffrey told me that Donald Trump is a good friend of his, but you never observed them together. No, not that I can actually remember. I mean, not off the top of my head, no. When did Donald Trump flirt with you? He didn't. That's what's inaccurate. Did you ever see Donald Trump at Jeffrey's home? Not that I can remember. On his island? No, not that I can remember. In Mexico? No, not that I can remember. In New York? Not that I can remember. All right, if you could turn to the second page and read through those, let me know if any of those are inaccurate. Just put a check by them, and then we'll come back. Okay. Show me the proof, baby. Okay, so this one I think is going to take a while because it looks like a that. So we're gonna, let me see if I can find one that I can get through, and like, not this one. That's got a lot. Hold on. Not that one either. Or that one. I might could try to get through. Hold on. I think there's one at the back. Ooh, I can get through this one real quick. Okay. Case 18 TAC 2868 document 279. It's 0809-2019, 2628231, page 34 of 37, 435. What are the two dots? Semicolon, I don't know. 7 TAC 455. Those dots again, 6, and depo period X period 7. These include her claims that 1, she was 17 when she flew to the Caribbean with Mr. Epstein and Ms. Maxwell, went to pick up Bill in a huge black helicopter, referring to former President Bill Clinton. 2, her conversation with Mr. Clinton about Ms. Maxwell's pilot skills. And 3, Donald Trump was a good friend of Mr. Epstein's and flirted with me. Plaintiff's admissions on the falsity of her original allegations are fatal to her defamation claim. As to the second sentence, the 11 admittedly false, oh my God, original allegations axiomatically would warrant the second sentence. Plaintiff has no possible way to prove the second sentence is false. Indeed, like Ms. Maxwell's first sentence, the second sentence literally is true. More than one of plaintiff's original allegations are untrue. A statement that literally is true cannot be defamatory as a matter of law. See law firm of Daniel P. Foster, 844F.2D at 959, sentence number 3. Defamation as to third sentence is foreclosed. To begin with, as discussed above, whether plaintiff has uttered obvious lies is a matter of opinion in the face of the plaintiff's gratuitous and lurid allegations of Ms. Maxwell's years-long participation at the center of a child sex trafficking ring. For the journalist recipients of the July 2015 statement, the phrase was an anticipated epithet, fire, and it has 2 closed brackets, open and closed brackets, comma, fiery rhetoric or hyperbole, comma, quote, in quote, oh, so it is in quotes, epithet, fiery rhetoric or hyperbole, Steinhalber, comma, 501, N.E.2D at 556, internal quotations omitted, and I guess that's a semicolon, CTL.SYS.international, comma, 2003 WL222322908, comma, at asterisk 2, open Prince observing court's previous holding in Rizzuto, R-A-Z-Z-U-T-O, that defendants apostrophe use of phrases, and this is in quotes, conned, C-O-N-N-E-D, comma, ripoff, and lying in advertisements were not actionable as libel and were rhetorical hyperbole, comma, a vigorous epithet used by those who considered themselves unfairly treated and sought to bring what they alleged were the true facts to the readers, end quote. Close parenthesis, open parenthesis, internal quotations omitted, close parenthesis, period, even if arguendo, so A-R-G-U-E-N-D-O, the third sentence, plaintiffs, quote, claims are obvious lies, claims are obvious lies, end quote, cannot be considered opinion. The Rule 56 record forecloses a defamation claim. This sentence does not specify which plaintiffs' quote-unquote claims, i.e. allegations, are obvious lies. It would refer to the, and that was it. That's what it told me to print out. All right, then to go ahead and get you in a good shot. Told me again, love you, mean it.